Welcome to the channel. In today's presentation, we're exploring the technological evolution of glass. Before this resilient material became a global standard, industries relied on far more corrosive alternatives. We will be analyzing the materials and methods used in the preceding era. Glass is an amorphous solid, which means it is a solid material that does not have the regular, repeating atomic structure found in most crystalline solids. Unlike metals or crystals, where atoms are arranged in a fixed, orderly pattern, the atoms in glass are disordered and irregular. Because of this, glass behaves in a very unique way. It has the rigidity and strength of a solid, yet structurally resembles a liquid that has been frozen in place. This unusual atomic arrangement is what gives glass its defining properties. It is transparent because light can pass through without being scattered by crystal boundaries. It is impermeable, meaning liquids and gases cannot easily pass through it. It is also highly resistant to chemical reactions, which allows it to safely store food, medicine, and chemicals without contamination. These combined properties make glass one of the most versatile and important materials ever developed by humans. Long before humans learned how to create glass, nature was already producing it through powerful natural events involving heat and pressure. One of the earliest forms of natural glass is fulgurite. Fulgurites form when lightning strikes sand that is rich in silica. The intense heat of the lightning, often hotter than the surface of the sun, melts the sand instantly and fuses it into hollow, branching tubes of glass. These fragile structures preserve the path of the lightning strike and represent the first natural encounter humans had with glass. Another important natural glass is obsidian, which forms during volcanic eruptions. When molten lava cools extremely quickly, there is no time for crystals to form, and the material solidifies into a smooth, glassy substance. Obsidian can be fractured to produce edges that are sharper than modern surgical steel. Because of this, ancient societies used obsidian to make tools such as knives, arrowheads, and even surgical instruments. It was also highly valued in trade and ritual practices. A third form is moldavite, a type of tektite formed by meteorite impacts. When a meteorite strikes the Earth, the immense heat and pressure melt the surrounding material and launch it into the atmosphere. As it cools and falls back to Earth, it forms glass. Moldavite is rare and often associated with specific impact sites, making it both scientifically and culturally significant. The earliest human-made glass appeared around 3500 BC in Mesopotamia and ancient Egypt. It was likely discovered accidentally during metalworking, when high temperatures caused sand and minerals to fuse into glass-like materials. At this stage, glass was not clear or refined. It was cloudy, opaque, and primarily used for decorative purposes. In ancient times, knowledge of glassmaking was closely guarded. Egyptian workshops operated under strict control, and techniques were passed down secretly. In Venice, glassmakers were isolated on Murano Island to protect trade secrets. For centuries, Venice dominated glass production through secrecy and control. By around 2500 BC, true glassmaking began in coastal regions of Syria. Early craftsmen produced small objects such as beads, which were valued for their color and rarity. These beads were among the first intentionally created glass items. Around 1450 BC, during the reign of Pharaoh Thutmose III in Egypt, glassmaking advanced further. Craftsmen began producing small vessels, not by pouring molten glass, but by winding softened glass threads around a clay core. Once cooled, the clay was removed, leaving behind a hollow container. These vessels were often brightly colored and used for perfumes and oils. A major turning point came in the 1st century BC with the invention of glassblowing by Phoenician craftsmen. This technique involved gathering molten glass on the end of a hollow tube and blowing air into it, forming a bubble that could be shaped into containers. Glassblowing dramatically increased efficiency and reduced cost. For the first time, glass objects could be produced quickly and in large quantities. This transformed glass from a luxury material into something accessible to everyday people. By the 1st century AD, the Roman Empire had fully embraced glass. Glass windows began appearing in buildings, although they were thick and not perfectly transparent. Markets sold glass cups, jars, and bottles. The Romans turned glassmaking into a large-scale industry, spreading techniques across Europe and the Mediterranean. Around 1000 AD, glassmaking techniques evolved in Northern Europe. Craftsmen began using potash derived from wood ash instead of soda from sea plants. This created a different type of glass with distinct properties and appearance. By the 12th century, glass became central to art and architecture through stained glass windows in Gothic cathedrals. Metallic oxides were added to produce vibrant colors, allowing glass to tell religious stories through light and imagery. Around 1290, eyeglasses were invented in Pisa, Italy, marking a major advancement in optics and human vision. In the 1500s, Venetian glassmakers on Murano Island achieved remarkable progress. They developed cristallo, an exceptionally clear and refined glass. They also created high-quality mirrors using mercury tin backing, which were considered technological marvels at the time. In the early 17th century, glass lenses enabled the invention of telescopes by Hans Lippershey and Galileo. This allowed humanity to observe the universe in entirely new ways, changing science forever. Modern glass production is based on a carefully controlled combination of raw materials. The primary ingredient is silica sand, which forms the structural foundation of glass and makes up about 70 to 75% of the mixture. Soda ash is added to lower the melting temperature, making production more energy efficient. Limestone is included to improve durability and resistance to water. Another critical component is recycled glass, known as cullet. This material melts more easily than raw ingredients and reduces the energy required for production. In many cases, up to 30% of a glass batch consists of recycled material. The mixture is heated in a furnace at temperatures around 1500 to 1575 degrees Celsius, transforming it into molten glass. In the 1950s, Sir Alastair Pilkington developed the float glass process, which revolutionized the production of flat glass. Molten glass is poured onto a bath of molten tin. Because glass is less dense, it floats and spreads out evenly, forming a perfectly flat surface. Gravity and surface tension ensure uniform thickness. The glass then moves into an annealing chamber called a layer, where it cools slowly. This process removes internal stresses and ensures strength and stability. Types of glass. There are several important types of glass used in modern applications. Soda-lime glass is the most common and is used for windows, bottles, and containers. Borosilicate glass contains boron trioxide, which gives it excellent resistance to thermal expansion. This makes it ideal for laboratory equipment and cookware. Tempered glass is strengthened through controlled heating and cooling. When it breaks, it shatters into small, less dangerous pieces. Laminated glass consists of layers bonded with plastic, allowing it to hold together when broken. It is widely used in car windshields. Low emissivity glass has a thin coating that reflects heat while allowing light to pass through, improving energy efficiency in buildings. Glass transformed architecture by allowing buildings to incorporate light and transparency. In 1851, the Crystal Palace demonstrated that glass could be used as a primary structural material. In 1909, the curtain wall system introduced glass-covered building exteriors, leading to modern skyscrapers. Glass is one of the most sustainable materials available because it is 100% recyclable. It can be reused indefinitely without losing quality. Recycling glass reduces the need for raw materials and lowers carbon emissions. Cullet improves efficiency, reduces furnace wear, and lowers energy consumption. Modern glass production is highly precise. Chemists adjust formulas based on impurities and environmental conditions. Glass exits the furnace extremely hot and fragile. If cooled too quickly, internal stress forms, which can cause breakage later. To prevent this, glass undergoes annealing. It passes through a long temperature-controlled tunnel where it cools gradually over 20 to 60 minutes. This process allows internal stresses to relax, resulting in a strong and stable final product. Glass is chemically inert. It does not react with what it contains. It does not release substances like plastic or react like metal. It preserves taste, purity, and chemical stability. The invention of automatic machines in the early 20th century transformed glass production. Michael Owens developed the first automatic bottle-making machine, enabling mass production. While the basic formula remained the same, production speed increased dramatically. Today, glass is produced so efficiently that it has become almost invisible in daily life. People rarely think about its origins, complexity, or history. It simply performs its function without drawing attention. Glass represents over 3,500 years of human knowledge, innovation, and refinement. From rare and secretive beginnings to modern mass production, it has become an essential part of everyday life. Its greatest achievement is that it has become invisible, perfectly serving its purpose while remaining unnoticed. Thank you for joining us on this journey today. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, so stay tuned for our upcoming features. We'll see you in the next one.